eternal self and continue to wake up within that eternal self, have that self-actualization, we begin to listen more to the Holy Spirit. We're able to just follow that guidance. It's a natural thing. It's a natural result of living more in our true nature. Now, are you going to live in your eternal self, every day out of 10? No, it's the duality part of it, right? We're in a dual world. So it appears we're in a dual world. So it doesn't appear that we can experience our eternal self consistently. But our real job, even more than the job we think we have in form, our real job is to practice every day to live within that eternal self, to be an expression of that eternal self, and to have that willingness to allow Spirit to show you how you can live more in that true nature. And this is the first sentence I'll read to you that is powerful that I heard today in the audiobook is the story that I need more money. Now, you can change the word money for anything in this whole talk. So anytime I say money, you can say I need I need a better relationship, or I need, to lose more weight, or I need to, have a child, or I need to be in a relationship, or whatever that is for you. So the story that I need more money, or I need to have a relationship, or I need to have more things, or I need to have more clothes, is what keeps us by recognizing our wealth. Again, when you are thinking, I need something outside to complete me, what happens is it's keeping us from recognizing our wealth. And what I mean by wealth is from recognizing our eternal self. It's actually robbing us from experiencing our true nature. Whenever you're saying that your needs are not met, you're living in the future. And that is just a story. So when you think you need more money, when you think you need something outside to complete you, you're actually projecting in the future, and you're starting to get scared about something in the future. There's no acceptance of reality. There's no acceptance of what is going on in the present moment, which when we have full acceptance of the present moment, abundance is there, freedom is there, fearlessness is there, because we're not creating any stories in our mind. So it says here, so that she also went on to say, right now, you're supposed to have the money you have right now, right? Right now, the relationship you have is the one you're supposed to have. Right now, where you're at in your life is supposed to be where you are, right? And then I'm adding words to it, right? And then it says here, how do I know when I'm supposed to have more than what I do, right? And then how do I know when I'm supposed to have less than what I do? Is because what we have in our bank accounts right now is what we're supposed to have, right? It's so freeing just to have full acceptance of what is. And I'm using money in the bank account as an example, right? So going on to your eternal self, it's like, and actually Dr. Wayne Dyer was talking about this on his talk on YouTube, and I'm going to actually post that on here, and I'll send you an email about it. He was talking about how when we are in the womb, those 9 months, everything is just happening. We're not saying, oh, I'm going to create my liver. Oh, I'm going to create my leg. Oh, I'm going to create my atoms, my molecules. Oh, I'm going to create my body. Those 9 months, things are just happening. Things are flowing. And this is just a metaphor, right? The child is being created within those 9 months. And then, which is that eternal self, that eternal nature, right? That things just, they come and they go, right? I think there's another thing here that says, every man, every woman, every child, every war, every destruction, you see companies open, you see companies close, you see money go up and go down on the stock market, right? Catastrophes happen. And when you understand that we're not dependent on that, life is always ever changing, right? So when we come into that body, what we do is we're like, okay, I'm going to take over from here now, is what he was saying, right? Oh, I'm going to go ahead and take over from here. I'm going I'm going to start to dictate how this body's going to live, what's going to be my future, how much money am I going to have, who I'm going to marry, and you start to want to control and start to manipulate your life. And now it's not those 9 months that you were so taken care of. Now we have forgotten that we're so taken care of as we come into this body and start to grow up as adults. But that eternal self, that part, that intelligence of the Holy Spirit is in us. And that intelligence moves through us. So it says here, when you practice looking at all that is with non-judgment, when you practice to look at everything that is as non-judgment, like non-judgment to the max, that is when you start to wake up more to your eternal self. So it's no judgment about how much you have in your bank account. It's not, no judgment on your relationships, no judgment on how you look, no judgment on how things should be. It's just really coming into spirit and letting spirit show you what is really real. And spirit will help you to unblock, coming back to your eternal self, that judgment, that barrier. And then what happens is that your freedom is there. Your freedom is there. And guess what? Your abundance has arrived. Your abundance has arrived there. Because you're in this world, and as you know, as I just said, the world is ever changing. Right? Byron Katie was saying that, the money that she has, she loves it. She loves the money that she has in that moment. And she also loves the money that she doesn't have in that moment. Right? And it's funny because in my life, I see my account go up and down and up and down and up and down. It's always the same thing, up and down, right? And it's like, if we can look at that as it's exactly perfect, and the money or resources you have in this moment, it could be money, it could be relationships, whatever you have, it's exactly perfect in this moment. And that's why you don't have more. That's why you don't have less. It's because it's what you're supposed to have in this moment. And when you have full acceptance of that, you're free and your abundance has arrived. But when you deny what you have, if you want things to be different, if you want your bank account to be different, if you are worried about scarcity thinking, then you're letting the ego take over your mind, and then your freedom appears to be gone. But it's never gone because your freedom is always there. It's just a choice to come back to that freedom. So abundance has nothing to do with money. Okay, nothing. Abundance has nothing to do with money. The world would teach us that abundance has everything to do with money. But as you've seen, how could true abundance be suicide? How could true abundance be despair and scarcity and depression? Because that's what the abundance of the world has taught us, is that abundance is money. And almost, we've heard tons of stories of many successful people that have everything in form that you can imagine, and they commit suicide, have depression, etc. So abundance has nothing to do with money. Abundance has everything to do with recognizing your true nature, your eternal self. And wealth and poverty are all internal. All internal. Whenever you believe that you know better, you want to manipulate, you want to control, and you get very stressful, guess what happens? You're experiencing poverty. You're experiencing poverty in that moment. You're experiencing hell. Like the Course likes to talk. You're experiencing hell on earth, which is not somewhere you go, but it's something you're experiencing now. So you're experiencing hell. Now, when you realize that what you possess is more than enough, when you recognize that what you possess is more than enough, when you realize that what you have is exactly perfect, when you realize that the narrative of your script, that every single being and every single relationship and everything you have is exactly perfect, and you know that what you possess is more than enough, I'll go back and say that again, you're rich. You're rich.